Good afternoon. Grace here. Stephanie, can you hear me?
Can hear you very well.
Thank you. We're on the record in the Colorado Public Utilities Commission's proceeding number 24A-0106W. My name is Aviv Segev. I'm the administrative law judge assigned to this proceeding. It is now 4 p.m. on October 8, 2024. This remote public comment hearing was scheduled by interim decision number R24-0627-I, dated August 29, 2024. I scheduled this remote public comment hearing in response to the parties' joint unopposed motion to schedule a public comment hearing. As explained in decision number R24-0627-I, this public comment hearing is being conducted remotely via the Zoom web-hosted video conference platform and based on the party's request. I want to welcome and thank each of you who are appearing here today. It appears so far we have one person who may wish to submit a public comment, and welcome and thank all of you who are here and who may be joining us later today. I will give some basic background about this proceeding for purposes of the record and for the benefit of those who are in attendance here today and those who may be joining us. This case was initiated on March 1st, 2024 by Baxter Water when it filed an application. I don't know that I referenced it, but I will refer to Papason LLC as Baxter Water. And of course, whoever may be submitting a public comment here today may do the same. So again, I will repeat the last sentence. This case was initiated on March 1st, 2024 by Baxter Water when it filed an application in which it requested Commission approval for a simplified regulatory treatment and participation in the Commission's resource cost pass-through option, which is, by the way, outlined in Commission Rule 5112 sub E sub Roman numeral 2. Including authorization to pass through price changes following Baxter Water's acquisition of a wholesale water utility and related expenditures incurred by Baxter Water. On April 19, 2024, the trial staff of the Public Utilities Commissions, which I and anybody submitting a public comment today may refer to as staff, noticed its intervention of right and requested a hearing in this matter. On August 16, 2024, Baxter Water and staff filed their joint unopposed motion to schedule a public comment hearing and approve the parties' unanimous comprehensive settlement agreement. The settlement agreement was attached to that motion. According to the terms of the settlement agreement, Baxter Water would ultimately increase its monthly net base rate from $58.75 to $112.67 per customer, which is approximately, I believe, 92 or 91 point some percent increase. This rate increase would take place in 3 phases over a 6 billing cycle, starting with the first billing cycle following the approval, if any, of the settlement agreement. The agreement also contemplates the following changes to Baxter Water's tariff with the Commission. The first change is an increase in the amount of the transfer fees from $32 to $35, an increase of the return check fees from $20 to $40, removing the non-business hours turn-on/off fees from the tariff, changing the shutoff rules in paragraph 14 of Baxter Water's rules and regulations in order to comply with the Commission rules, and changing Rule 15 of Baxter Water's rules and regulation to clarify that state agencies are responsible for assessing drought conditions. The terms of the settlement agreement are the primary subject of this public comment hearing. With respect to how this public comment hearing will proceed, in the interim decision setting this remote public comment hearing, I stated that that members of the public can provide written or oral comments. I'm letting you know that both written and oral comments are given the exact same weight. The commission does not give greater weight to written versus oral comments. However, the commission prefers written comments because they tend to be clearer and more persuasive. If you prefer to submit written comments, there are at least 4 ways to submit them. You can do so by email, by emailing Dora_PUC_website @state.co.us. You can do so through the Commission's website by browsing to puc.colorado.gov, scrolling down to the box labeled File a Comment or Complaint, and filling out the applicable form and noting this proceeding number, which again is 24A-0106W. You can also send your public comment by U.S. mail to the PUC offices, which are located at 1560 Broadway, Suite 250, Denver, Colorado, 80202. And you can call, that's actually not a written comment, but you can call 303-869-3490, and you can leave an oral message in English or in Spanish on that line. With all of these options, again, I would ask that you reference proceeding number 24A-0106W. The Commission's administrative staff, the reason I'm asking you to note the proceeding number is so that the Commission's administrative staff will be able to put your include your public comment in the record for this proceeding. With respect to the comments to be provided here today, I would ask that you have, if you've not already done so, change your Zoom name to your first and last name. Again, this is important for a clear record. Use your raise your hand feature, which I don't think we'll need to do this time, given that we don't have very many participants. I will just call on you again by identifying your name, the name that you have identified on your Zoom session screen. I would ask that you remain muted and with your camera off until it is your turn to speak. Mr. Vyas, I see your camera is on. You do not need to turn it off. And again, that's just to signal to me in case there are multiple participants that you wish to submit a comment by turning your camera on. For those who are listening, who may be listening to the live stream of this hearing, and you are considering participating by phone, you can do so. You would need to dial *9 to use the raise hand feature, and I would ask that you listen carefully when your area code and last name or last 4 digits of your number are called. And you will have to press *6 on your phone to unmute yourself. When I call your name or phone number, please unmute and turn your video and begin your comments by stating your first and last name. You see here regarding a few tips on presenting your oral comments. When you speak, please remember that the court reporter will be transcribing everything that is being said, everything that is said. Speak slowly and clearly. I may interrupt you and ask you to repeat yourself or slow down if I cannot understand something, or if I think that the record is not clear based on something you said or didn't say clearly or so on. All of your statements during this public comment hearing need to be verbal. I may have questions for you, and please, if there's more than one participant, I would ask that you do not speak over on top of each other. If another commenter covers all of the points, another commenter intended on including in their comment, you feel free to tell me that that other person already covered the points you intended on covering, and you're of course welcome to supplement with whatever additional comments you want. Regarding the order of the comments, I don't think that's an issue here today. I will just call on you in the order you might appear on my screen. I will not set a time limit on comments. Again, given we do not have very many participants here today. One more thing. To those of you today who do not wish to speak and are only wish to observe, this hearing is being live streamed, and you can search for the Commission's YouTube channel, and I think pretty easily find that live stream. There's also a link for the YouTube channel live stream on the Commission's website. All right. With all of that said, I see we have one possible commenter. Mr. Valles, would you please introduce yourself? Tell us if you're appearing on anybody other than yourself, and proceed with your comment when you're ready.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Ivan Valles. I appear on behalf of myself and my family, my wife Felicia, and my two minor children. We reside here in the Baxter neighborhood and are residents of 15 years on Baxter Water Services, formerly O'Neill Water before the purchase. You likely are familiar with me from case 23A-0106W earlier this year. So yeah, I am here today to state both myself and my family's firm opposition primarily to the rate increase to $112.67. As you noted in your opening comments and remarks, that is a very significant increase, nearly double approaching there. And while we acknowledge the work completed by Baxter Water during the last year and infrastructure upgrades and their challenges that they faced infrastructure-wise, and certainly appreciate the work that's been completed, that work really has only merely brought Baxter Water up to the bare minimum functional standards of an operating water utility provider in this state. CDPHE, Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, has been, of course, quite involved with the operations of Baxter Water over the past year plus. During that time, and for the 15 years that I've lived here, and assuredly likely well before that, the residents of this neighborhood have endured, or rather suffered, under the ownership of the various water proprietors of this business. We've endured poor communication, lack of adequate public notice, boil advisories that nobody was aware about until CDPHE and came and put letters on our door because they failed to notify us at any time. Or water quality issues, if we've received water quality reports at all. And again, I say this as a 15-year resident of this neighborhood, and there's folks in this neighborhood who likely, of course, who have been here much longer. Speaking of this neighborhood, the average size home in this neighborhood, in this subdivision, is a 2-bedroom, single bath house. Okay. Based on certificates of occupancy alone, most homes in this neighborhood are not designed to house more than 4 persons. And in the reality, many homes in this neighborhood are single occupancy homes, elderly, veterans, disabled, etc. And honestly, allowing the Public Utility Commission allowing this substantial of a rate increase to nearly doubling to folks who are on fixed incomes and are already in a lower income bracket. Okay, this is not the upper ends of the economic end of Pueblo. Would place an undue hardship on this entire neighborhood. These kind of rates would place Baxter Water Services up with the upper end of residential billing for comparable water districts like St. Charles Mesa Water District, the Pueblo West Municipal Water District, and of course the City of Pueblo Water. As you're aware, I'm pretty familiar with these items and familiar with the water business in and around the Pueblo, Colorado area. So I speak from experience and knowledge on these topics. Allowing this sort of a rate increase would be inequitable, to say the least. And again, while I appreciate the work that's been completed, nothing that's been completed has provided us exceptional water that warrants this sort of an increase in our rates or in tariffs, and again, places an undue hardship on the neighborhood in general. I again strongly oppose any sort of rate increase based on their current proposition. I think it's outrageous that they do so, and almost insulting based on their conduct over the past year and a half and poor performance as a water utility provider thus far. In summary, that's my comments. Open to any questions you may have, Your Honor.
I do not have a comment. But what I'd like to do is think about it for a minute, and given that there are no other commenters or possible commenters here on this Zoom session, I will take a 15-minute recess, and I may have a question for you. I will let you know at the very beginning of that. Should another participant join, I will let him or her, of course, speak. But before that, I will let you know whether I have any questions for you. Does that sound like a reasonable plan?
Understood. That'll work. Okay,
very good. I see that another person joined this session. So, Ms. Egley, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name.
No, that's Miss Egley. You're good.
Egley, and you're not here to submit a public. Are you here to submit a public comment?
I wanted to see what was going on, but yeah, I think it is a little ridiculous. Our water bill is going up so high. Just sorry.
No, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. If you don't mind, it's not a necessity, but if you could kindly turn on your camera, that would be nice. Again, it's not a requirement. And
got it. Sorry.
I can see you now. Thank you. And thank you. And hello and welcome. And again, please introduce yourself. And please tell us if you're appearing on anybody other than yourself, on behalf of anybody other than yourself.
Just myself, and maybe my neighbor Wilma, because she doesn't have a computer or anything to get onto this platform at the moment. Okay,
and you're welcome to proceed with your comment, with your public comment whenever you're ready.
Sorry. I'm just as the last guy was saying, our water bill. We're in a fixed income. The water is bleaching our clothes. It's not like he's fixing it. I have so many black clothes full of bleach that I have to constantly keep getting new clothes every time. And there's black. We were, some my kids and stuff wear. I don't know if you know what a gi is for jujitsu. Those are expensive, and those get bleached, and I have to buy a whole new one. You can't just wear bleached gi. I mean, if it's a water system's fixed, not a big deal, but the water system is not fixed. The water is getting shut off whenever. I have a 6-year-old. I just feel like it's not fair until the water issue's fixed, or I don't think it's fair for the water to go up. Oh,
So, if I may paraphrase, just to make sure I understand what you're telling me, you're telling me that if had the service of water service by Baxter Water or Papason, whatever we call them, was exceptional, you might have been okay paying the higher rate. But given that it is not, you're not okay with that? Is that a good paraphrase of your statement?
yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind paying extra money, for quality water, but it's not quality water. It's like I said, it's bleaching. Half the time I can't even take a shower because the chlorine is so bad. I have to open my shower door just to breathe. My plants are dying because of the water.
Okay. All right. Anything else you would
No,
like to?
that's it. I mean, if it's the quality water was better, I wouldn't mind, but it's not, the quality of water is not that good.
Understood. Thank you very much for your comment. I will take it under advisement. I will also try to allow additional individuals who may be listening to this public comment hearing to join us. So I will now take a 15-minute recess. You're welcome to stay connected or watch, not end, but or continue to watch this hearing on the Public Utilities Colorado Public Utilities Commission's YouTube channel, so we'll be on recess until let's call it 4:37. Mr. Weiss, I may at this time have a question or so for you, and I may not, but I'll let you know then.
Understood. Your Honor, may I add one more point?
Okay, we're back on the record to the extent we were not on the record.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's okay if not. I just wanted to follow up on the previous speaker's comment. We also find the water, I alluded to it somewhat in my initial comment, but we do agree that the water quality is extremely poor. We do not drink the water. I'm sitting 5 feet away from the water cooler, which we purchase water for myself and my family to drink in this home. So in addition to the expense of water service for our home, I, along with others in this neighborhood, as I was recommend our friend online here, do go with bottled water. But again, disproportionate to the rate increase that they're asking in relation to the quality of water. In either regards, I am not okay with a higher rate, period. Whether, again, they brought their water quality up to the bare minimum standards, not providing anything significant or great in terms of water quality, and definitely does not warrant this sort of an increase. That is it. Understood.
Thank you for this additional comment. We will now take a recess until let's just do it. Let's just do 4:40. Okay. We will be on recess starting now until 4:40. Thank you very much. We are back on the record in the Colorado Public Utilities Commission's proceeding number 24A-0106W. Mr. Valles, I promised you I'd get back to you if I had any questions. It appears I do not. Doesn't appear. I do not have any questions for you. I do very much appreciate your and Ms. Igle's comments. I will take these comments under advisement. I assume the parties have also listened in on this on these comments. This brings the public comment hearing to a close. Again, thank you for your participation, and we are adjourned.